Hello and welcome to Dappz Live, the show where we talk about sports, laugh about sports, and if you're a Jets fan, potentially cry about sports. I am joined by the illustrious biggest card buyer in the universe, the almighty Ethan. Ethan, what happened to your breakfast sandwiches?
Dude, I've been cut off from my breakfast sandwiches. I don't get coffee anymore. Or the director of this show is kind of a Nazi. It's pretty unfortunate that I'm hungry and thirsty at the same time.
Guys, remember, get your comments in. We will address all of them throughout the show. DM us your questions as well. And remember to follow this page. All right, let's get into it. The Jets are the worst team in football. This was an absolute nightmare to watch. The Panthers, the Browns, the Bengals. No. The Jets are the worst team in football. The 0-3 Titans of Miami and New York faced off last night in one of the worst coached games I've ever watched. 3 fumbles. Bralon Allen on the goal line. Justin Fields on 4th down. Isaiah Williams on the return.
Who?
What the fuck? Ethan, when do you think it's acceptable to start boycotting your own team?
It's been acceptable for years now. I mean, I thought we all started with the Rodgers boycott. I don't know why we ended the boycott. We should still be boycotting the Jets. I boycotted that game very hard. I didn't tune in until Tyreek Hill's leg turned into a pretzel. So, yeah, boycott the Jets. Not a fan.
Guys, get in the comments. Let us know. Are you a fan of a team that is absolutely soul-crushing? Or do you love a franchise that hates you? The refs. Quickly, I don't know who in Miami kidnapped their family, but it was criminal. Pass interference on Garrett Wilson, insane. One of the worst calls of the year. Ethan, last night, watch this play real quick.
Ooh.
Garrett Wilson absolutely mobbed this Dolphins cornerback. It wasn't even close. One of the most incredible catches of the year. And what happens? The refs call an offensive pass interference because he lightly touched him. This was one of the most egregious calls I've seen this entire year.
What?
The amount of calls that went against the Jets. By the way, the Jets are horrible. They stink. They don't know how to be coached. They don't know how to play. They don't know how to not get a false start. There was like 6 penalties on the Jets before a play even happened. And then in addition to add insult to injury, what happens? They call offensive pass interference on Garrett Wilson in a very critical moment during the game. I believe this would have either tied the game or put them within whether it was a touchdown or a field goal. And unfortunately, the refs are also against the Jets. I mean, the Jets are against the Jets, but when the refs are also against the Jets, what are you going to do? Ethan, is this the softest PI call you've ever seen?
Dude, that cornerback wasn't even in the same area code. I have no clue how you call a pass interference when Garrett Wilson is just wide open in the end zone. Also, free Garrett Wilson, man. Don't ruin his career. Get him out of the Jets. That guy is too talented. He's playing with his old quarterback in college, still carrying his ass. I think we found out that the only way that Justin Fields was good is you needed to have Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and Marvin Harrison, and then you'll have a good quarterback. Dude, that wasn't PI. And get Garrett Wilson to a good team because he's a fucking beast, man.
We also had late hits on downed receivers, Ethan. This hit on Justin Fields, another egregious call. I mean, if this happened to Frog Boy Mahomes, the refs would be losing their minds. Ethan?
Wait. What's the problem here? Is that you want a penalty on that?
Correct.
Dude, that's a running back right there. You're allowed to tackle him on the whites. It's like that guy hasn't thrown a pass for like 10 straight downs. You're allowed to tackle a guy like that. And if Pat Mahomes, if that happened to him, guess what? He would get up, start clapping. Justin Fields is like a vegetable on the floor.
So if this happens to Patrick Mahomes, you're just like, oh, it's fine. Get up, Pat. No worries. No penalty.
Dude, if that happened to Pat, he would be up, running, slapping ass, and being happy to be. This is nothing. This is literally nothing.
Well, the biggest story out of the game, Ethan, was Tyreek Hill exploded every piece of his leg.
Yeah.
In the third quarter, we come back from commercial break, and someone is on a cart. It's the Dolphins star receiver. We cut to replay. It was bad, Ethan. It was really bad. Dislocated. No, it wasn't a dislocated knee. It was a torn ACL.
And a dislocated
torn
knee.
ACL. We have a producer on here who refuses to acknowledge that this man tore his ACL, which I told him in the middle of the game.
He did both. He tore his ACL, dislocated his knee, and something else.
Weirder than all of this, though, Ethan, Tyreek Hill was cheering.
Yeah.
Look at this. Cheering. Finn Blue says his leg straight up snapped. He's a Bengals fan.
This is Antonio Brown part 2, bro. I've never seen this type of crazy since Antonio left. I don't know what's in the water, this Florida water, but how are you so happy about this?
I mean, is Tyreek Hill happy that he doesn't have to play for the Dolphins anymore, Ethan? Is that what he's happy about?
I think he's happy he gets to spend more time with his wife and child so they can beat him up a little more.
Anyone with a working brain would be pissed about playing for Miami, which is why Tua is so
his
happy.
Child and wife are at home like, no, like I gotta spend more time with Tyreek.
Let's move on to the second game of the night. Bengals Broncos, absolutely atrocious to watch. Gonzo, by the way, said dislocated and tore ligaments, including his ACL.
Bang.
Bengals Broncos, snooze fest of the. I mean, this is really unfortunate, Ethan. Horrific game. Burrow's been out. I mean, Ethan, how bad are the Bengals with Jake Browning under center?
I'm surprised. If Jake Browning is under center next week, I'd be super surprised. It's time to make the call. Get Jameis Winston over there. Let him throw to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. That would be the best content in the league. And honestly, if J-Bo goes over there, we might never see Joe Burrow again.
Well, listen, I mean, the question is, and what people are saying online right now is, Joe Burrow is clearly the best player in the league. If you leave your team and then this happens, like when the Bengals play with Joe Burrow, they could beat anybody, right? I'm not saying they will beat anybody, but they could beat anybody. And this team is so freaking bad with Browning. The crazy thing about this team is they have a better record than the Baltimore Ravens. So let's stay in the AFC North for a second. John Harbaugh said after the game on Sunday, Lamar couldn't have returned to the game even if it was close. Ethan, that sounds like a pretty serious injury. The Ravens have Houston and the Rams, and then the bye week. It looks like he's going to be out until the end of October.
No. I listen. There's some dog in Lamar Jackson. That's a Pompano kid. He's not. His injury is not going to stop him. If he's a hamstring injury, he'll just sit back and be a pocket passer that he is with the highest QBR in NFL history. Lamar Jackson's not going to sit out. He's got something to do. He's 1-3 right now. He's going to win some games, and he's not going to sit back and watch who's their backup, Tyler Huntley or Cooper Rush or something, to lose games to that team. I think Harbaugh needs to be out a couple games, and Lamar Jackson needs to be in a couple games.
Well, if Lamar doesn't play for 3 to 4 weeks, how fucked are the Ravens?
It's done. You only have 3 weeks left to turn this around. So if he's not playing for 3 weeks, I mean, might as well trade for Jake Browning and tank a little bit because you guys aren't going to do shit.
And we have Uncle Drew in here while we're talking about football, letting me know the Mets stink. Screw this guy. I hope the Red Sox sweep you. Cooper Rush will be backing up Lamar, and I mean, you know who could be. If his father hadn't said, I don't know what my son going to Baltimore. Shador Sanders, who remains rotting in Cleveland behind Dylan Gabriel. Imagine if when they got the call during the draft, the Sanders family had said, sure, I'd love to sit behind Lamar for a year or two, learn from one of the greatest quarterbacks in the league, 2-time MVP. And then Lamar goes down, Shador comes in, has a 2, 3, 4 week stunt, right? Maybe wins 2 games, shows who he is, and earns himself a contract or a trade from another team.
Listen, if Shador Sanders even gets into the game and he plays for the Ravens, we still have to live with the fact that Joe Flacco is the best quarterback in that division. Shador Sanders is a backup for a reason. He's a total clown. He doesn't know how to play football. His dad's a hype beast. I just can't stand him. Joe Flacco, elite.
You know what's elite is that the Jets decided to go with Aaron Glenn over Aaron Rodgers, and now Aaron Rodgers has the clearest path to winning the AFC North I've ever seen. He is going to dominate this entire division, especially with Lamar down. I don't know. I mean, every team that Aaron Rodgers is going to face in the AFC North, he's going to smoke. He's going to smoke the Browns. He's going to smoke the Bengals. He's going to smoke the Ravens. Without Lamar Jackson. I mean, am I wrong? Do you want to argue with me, Ethan?
The only thing smoking is Aaron Rodgers after the game. I think if you got a time machine, the Steelers are the best team in football history. The problem is, it's a bunch of unks over there. Darius Slay, TJ Watt, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Rodgers. That guy's a fossil. Yes, they're the best team in that division, but like I still wouldn't be surprised if the Browns are better than them because Myles Garrett is unstoppable. And like I said, Joe Flacco is elite.
I'm disgusted. Next story. Okay, we're back to Sunday. Eagles-Bucks, a game that Ethan was very critical of. Ethan, we really wanted to get back to this game for you specifically. Jalen Hurts had 0 completed passes in the second half, which means 0 yards and 0 touchdowns. Ethan, the floor is yours.
Took him 3 weeks to have a passing touchdown. He came back. Imagine being down at halftime and you're like, all right, guys, here's the plan. We're not throwing the ball anymore. Our quarterback is a complete bum. He doesn't know how to throw his receivers open. A.J. Brown is sending cryptic tweets saying, save me. I need out of here. Like I could play quarterback better than Jalen Hurts. At this point, I need there to be a midseason combine and just have passing drills between every quarterback so we can be aware of how much a loser this guy is. He's a glorified running back. I can't wait to see him go out just so anyone and their mom steps in and does just as good as a job.
Listen, Ethan, the 2024 Chiefs had a lot of miraculous, fraudulent wins that papered over cracks, and then they got killed in the Super Bowl. There's a strong argument that the Eagles might be that team this year. They could easily be 0-4. I mean, Dallas, CD drops every ball thrown to him. Kansas City, and by the way, Dallas is who the Eagles played week 1. Then they played Kansas City. Offsides, every tush push in that game. Then the Rams, they needed a block field goal to beat. And then Sunday, they needed Baker to throw a pick on the goal line from the 10. Ethan, how overrated are the Eagles?
You don't want to hear something? I know you're expecting me to go and like shit on the Eagles. The Eagles are fucking amazing. The fact that they could fucking do all of this with a bum at quarterback is outstanding. That team is a bunch of bullies. That O-line is number 1 in the league. The D-line, number 1 in the league. The running back, number 1 in the league. Receiving core, number 1 in the league. It's like they have to do all this bearing the fact that their quarterback has no arm at all. It's like amazing. And the way they dominate teams, like they're just grown men bullying, balling people. And it's like, I watched a play last week where Vita Vea was coming in, and that guy is 400 pounds, and they put him on his ass. These guys are dogs. As a team, the Eagles are unstoppable. Like, if Patrick Mahomes played for the Eagles, they would win 10 years straight. The Eagles aren't bad. Jalen Hurts is sandbagging.
El Toxico says defense wins championships. Offense stinks and has a Hall of Fame running back. What you should worry about is your offense today and Aaron Judge showing up for once in his life in the playoffs. That's what you should worry about, Uncle Drew. Now, let's get back to the Eagles and A.J. Brown, who continues to be annoying. He tweeted this after the game on Sunday. If you're not welcomed, not listened to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene. Shrug your shoulders and be on your way. Ethan, diva receivers, are they ever worth it?
Yo, this is the most anti-diva tweet I've ever seen. This is advice that Jamar Chase and Tyreek Hill and Antonio Brown should take. He's actually doing the right thing. He's practicing what he's preaching. He's shutting his mouth, because if he really was a diva, he would come up to the stand and be like, let me play quarterback. I am better than this bum. I'm open every down. You throw me the ball more than 3 times, I get 100 fucking yards. He's, by the way, let's forget how good Antonio Brown is. I'm sorry, A.J. Brown is. He went to Ole Miss with DK Metcalf. They played together, and he was 3 times better than DK Metcalf, who was elite. A.J. Brown is a phenomenal receiver. If he went to back to the Tennessee Titans, he would be blowing it up. So I would be bitching too if I was him.
Well, listen, imagine if A.J. Brown was playing with Patrick Mahomes.
Exactly. Let him free. Free A.J.
A.J. Brown, let's do this. Catch the ball. You had 9 targets on Sunday, or shut the fuck up and go to the Miami Dolphins. They're in need of an overrated receiver.
Yeah, and even the Giants. I heard the Giants brought in a Henry Ruggs for practice this week. So, I mean, there's a lot of teams looking for wideouts right now.
Now, as we mosey on from football, we're going to go over to the UFC, where Conor McGregor is negotiating directly with the White House. He said, I'm not dealing with Dana White. I'm dealing with Trump now. The White House lawn card is going to be the biggest fight night since the Thrilla in Manila. Ethan, it seems like every degenerate in the UFC wants to get on this card.
Dude, I want to get on that card. If Dana White offered me a fight, I'd go out there and fight for our country. This is a fight on the White House lawn. They're going to do the presser on the Lincoln Memorial. But here's the thing. You can say what you want about Conor McGregor. He's not good. He's washed. He's rich and doesn't want to fight anymore. But he's Mickey Mantle to this sport. He is the reason we're watching this sport. They wouldn't be on that White House lawn without him. So you better fucking put him on that card because everyone's watching. People are watching Mike Tyson fight and Jake Paul fight. Conor McGregor still has a couple time left, and he's fighting Michael Chandler, who fucking sucks. So let him have an undercard fight. I want to see Conor there. Pay the man his money. Dana, you go take a stimulus out. Pay the guy. Use the U.S. credit. We need him there.
Listen, John Jones wants out of retirement for this card. Conor McGregor is going to stop doing blow. This card is just pulling people out of the woods. And evidently, Conor has gone around Dana, like we said, negotiating directly with the White House, and he wants $100 million and 100 golden visas. My argument right now, by the way, is, listen, we saw, you might think that Conor McGregor is washed and he stinks. Guess what? You know who else was washed? Mike Tyson. You know who has the most views ever for a boxing match? Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. And it's double the next size fight. So whether you think Conor McGregor is washed or not, a Conor McGregor card at the White House is the biggest fight in UFC history. That's what it is. Now, let's see what happens if we're going to make this White House card a freak show. Let's get Brock Lesnar off the couch and have him fight a chimpanzee.
Yeah, bro, let's get Ronda and Brock to fight each other. It'll be great content. I mean, listen, this card is not for rankings or for belts. We just want to see the GOATs for a couple nights come back. Let me see Nunez and Kayla and Ronda and all these beasts come out of the wild. I want to see Aldo. I want to see Mighty Mouse. This is basically UFC porn. So I'm in for it. I'll even come if the tickets are a good price.
Either of them will come.
Right. I'll come.
Moving right along from UFC to the NBA, Victor Wembanyama. The Wembanyama has grown an inch, Ethan. He's now 7'4". Do you believe this?
Dude, I've been waiting a long time to grow my inch. I mean, Victor Wembanyama is... We need to remember, he led the league in blocks last year. He only played half the season. This guy, if you look at like, I know I'm not bringing cards in this, but if you look at card prices, Victor Wembanyama is the second most expensive player in the world behind Steph Curry. He's above LeBron James because this is only his third year. He has so much time. He's a little kid still. He's like, what, 22 years old? This guy is going to change the game if he can stay healthy. There will not be a better basketball player in the world if he's out there.
So Wemby just went under surgery to treat deep vein thrombosis. He had blood clot issues and now is the joint official tallest player in the NBA. Also, anticipated to be a top 5, top 10 guy. He's the heavy favorite for defensive player of the year. He already should have won one, by the way. Ethan, how do you think the Spurs are going to do this season without Pop?
Sad that Pop's not going to be there. I hope Pop's in the front office is playing chess games from above. But that team, that roster is stacked. I mean, between Steven Castle, Fox, Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, their first-round pick Dylan Harper, Jeremy Sochan, like that roster is as deep as can be. The Spurs have been waiting for a moment like this, and they are built to dominate. Remember, Wemby is the best defender in the league without even trying. If you just get 25 points and 12 rebounds on top of that, the rest of the team should be able to carry the weight.
Listen, good luck to Mitch Johnson and the Spurs. Hopefully they can win more than 20 games this year. Let's get to the last story of the day, Ethan. I think this one might be your favorite. Bad Bunny is playing at the Super Bowl halftime show. Ethan, who is Bad Bunny?
I barely know. I know he's from Puerto Rican. He won't come to America because he's scared of ICE. I'd rather watch J-Lo again. I mean, at least Shakira and J-Lo were somewhat attractive. I think this will be the lowest. I think this will be the worst rated halftime show since The Weeknd came out with a freaking devil face on. I'm just not in for this. Who's circling this on their calendar to watch Bad Bunny at halftime? We go from Kendrick Lamar to Bad Bunny?
Well, listen, they did ask Taylor Swift to play, but I've never listened to Bad Bunny. His songs are in Spanish last time I checked. What the fuck is he doing playing at the Super Bowl, Ethan?
Dude, we can get some good old country music going on in the Super Bowl. You can get some good old Americana, but we're going far away from what we're used to, and we're going to watch some Spanish music. I don't even get it. I really don't see what the point is. Where is the Super Bowl even at? Is it in Puerto Rico?
It's on an island.
It's on an island.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
then good. Yeah, of course. Let's do it then.
Now listen, we're going to move right along to this halftime viewership, and you actually nailed it, Ethan. This graphic on screen in 2021 shows the lowest viewed Super Bowl show since 2020 was in fact The Weeknd. The year before that,
Awful.
Shakira and J-Lo did
Fantastic.
103 million viewers. And just so everyone's aware who's watching, typically the Super Bowl has about 150 million people watching it, anywhere from 140 to 150. It usually breaks the record every single year of its own record. So roughly 103 million people of the 140 watching watch the halftime show. So, 20-30% of the audience doesn't watch the halftime show, right? 2021, it drops with The Weeknd by 6 million. Then we had Snoop, we had Dr. Dre, we had M, all come out, did 103 mil. Next year, they signed Rihanna. Everybody wants to watch Rihanna. It explodes by 20 million. After that, we got Usher. The ladies love Usher. And then we moved to last year, Kendrick Lamar beefing with Drake. Everybody wanted to see this show. And then that beat Usher by 10 million. Very, very impressive. And now we got Bad Bunny. The question is, what type of viewership is Bad Bunny going to do? And I think you're right. I think it's going to be a significant drop-off. I don't think this commit. Listen, had they got Taylor Swift, I think she could have potentially competed with Kendrick. What they should have done is they should have gotten Drake. Because Drake on the heels of Kendrick, now there's beef. Everybody's talking, right? That would have been the smartest thing, but Rock Nation and Jay-Z hate Drake, so that's not going to happen.
That would have been nice to get Drake
Ethan,
out
did
there.
you know the NFL does not pay people to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show?
I heard that, and I just don't believe it. I think it's a Kawhi Leonard situation where it's like, yeah, we don't pay you, but here's a check for $100 million or whatever company.
We started a company over here on the side.
Yeah,
We're going to invest in you.
Of course. I mean, I'd rather just have an AI light show than watch Bad Bunny. But listen, it gives you time to go get some food and go take a nap and get, I didn't even know Usher was a halftime show till 10 seconds ago. So it shows what I can watch.
Well, listen, Uncle Drew wants everyone to know that Bad Bunny is the most listened to artist in the world. What he doesn't understand is
not
that
true.
What?
It's Taylor Swift. I looked it up yesterday.
So it's Taylor
Lies.
Swift.
And number 2 is Drake.
Yeah.
So he's lying twice.
Yeah. So you're way off, Uncle Drew. Yankees fan would lie like that. Number one. Number 2. In addition to thinking that he's the most listened to artist in the world, only 14% of the U.S. population speaks Spanish. Okay? So if numbers hold true and he doesn't have any songs in English, again, I don't know if all these stats are right. We're just making assumptions here, but 14% of the people watching the Super Bowl are going to understand what he's saying. I could not name you one Bad Bunny song. And by the way, I'm not hating on Bad Bunny. I genuinely do not know one song. Maybe I've heard a song of his, but I couldn't tell you the working title of any one of his songs. Now, Card Collectors 14 thinks that you're Mr. Zesty, and Adbell wants to know that you look hot. You're a little snack, all right?
Wait, me or you?
Now, and Uncle Drew wants to clarify, I think it might be the largest watched halftime show. People are going to tune in just for the show. Dude. I think you are 100% wrong. I think everybody already did that for Kendrick Lamar, and they would have done it for Taylor Swift. But if you don't pay Taylor Swift, she's not showing up, all right? So we hope everyone has a fun time this Super Bowl singing along to their favorite songs in a language they do not speak. That is it for us. Remember to follow this page. You're watching Dappz Live on Dappz Sports. Join us every day, live at 12 p.m. Pacific. The Cookbook, live every Thursday, 4 p.m. If you want to get into a little gambling, a little 8-leg, a little 10-leg parlay maybe. General Managers live today, Tuesday, 4 p.m., guys. All right, if you want to talk a little fantasy, Neighbors is down. Tyreek is down. There's opportunities. Darius Slayton, maybe you want to pick him up. Wandale Robinson. Maybe you want to trade for Waddle. Maybe you want to pick up Malik Washington, third receiver on the Dolphins. There's always moves to be made. And please check out our YouTube page and our card show, Up or Down. We're giving away sports cards every single week. Ethan and I discuss what is going on in the market every single Thursday. I think you guys would enjoy the show if you're sports fans. Midwest Best says, have Spears coming off IR. Which bench spot am I dropping, Kamara or Kyle? Why would you?
What?
That's not.
You should drop yourself as a
You
manager.
should drop Kyle, dude. I mean, I think he has 3 points per week. DeAndre Swift got in the end zone last week, 14 points. So definitely drop Kylie Minogue. Guys, it's been a pleasure. We will see you tomorrow at 12 p.m.
I don't hate Bad Bunny. I don't hate.
You don't
him.
hate Bad Bunny.
But subtitles in the Super Bowl, like that's gonna be weird.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird.
Subtitles.
It's not gonna be good.
Super Bowl subtitles.
No.